Hey everybody, Backpack Hack here coming at you with another trail tip, and today we're going to be discussing something that a lot of people are going to be uncomfortable about, and that is the pee bottle. That is exactly what it sounds like. It's a bottle you pee in. Now, and a lot of people are going to think this is disgusting and probably click out of this video as fast as they can. But understand, the pee bottle is simply a modern day chamber pot for people who backpack and camp. Before the advent of indoor plumbing, people used to have a small container next to their bed, usually under the bed. In the middle of the night, when they needed to relieve themselves, they would just simply get up, pull that container out, do their business in it, push it back under the bed, and then in the morning, they would get up, walk down the hall, down the steps, out the back door, and pour the contents into a outhouse or a field or even the garden. Or sometimes rich people would have a servant do it. But that kept them from having to get dressed and go outside to use the outhouse. We do the same thing as backpackers and campers. You're snug in your bed, it's a nice cold day, and that's the reason I'm bundled up, is it's like 22 degrees right now. I'm testing some cold weather gear. I don't want to have to get up out of a nice warm bed, get dressed, put my shoes on, and go outside the tent to empty my bladder. I use a pee bottle. Now, some people are just going to say, look, you're camping. Just get up and suck it up and just go out and do your business. Well, if it's cold out like it is now, I want to have a nice warm bed to come back to. If I do all that, my bed's cold again and I got to heat it back up. It may be raining outside, or maybe it has been raining and it's muddy outside. So now I've got to be very, very careful coming back into the tent to make sure that I don't bring all that dirt and mud with me. So having a pee bottle can save you a lot of aggravation. Now, a pee bottle isn't for everybody. Some people are going to be absolutely disgusted by the fact that they are holding a container with their own warm urine in it. And I get that. Some people are just grossed out by the concept. But if you embrace the idea of a pee bottle, it will save you a lot of time and hassles. So if you're considering a pee bottle, here's some of the things to look for. Number one, there are commercially available products out there made for human urination. However, most of them are single use and they're disposable. You use them once and you have to throw them away. A pee bottle can be rinsed out and cleaned out and used over and over again if you so choose. However, myself, when I am camping, like truck camping, I use a container like this. This is simply a simple plastic bottle, used to have drink mix in it. I simply rinsed it out, cleaned it out, air dried it, and now it is my pee bottle. There are commercially available water bottles that a lot of people will use for a pee bottle. The problem with backpacking with something like this is the volume that it takes up. I don't want to put anything in this if I've used it as a pee bottle and then use those items as part of my gear. That's kind of gross to be putting it in there even though it's been cleaned out. So this has to be transported empty. So I only use this when I'm truck camping and volume isn't a problem. So a lot of people will use a collapsible water bottle when they use a commercially available product as a water bottle. But there's a few things you need to know if you're going to source some sort of your own personal pee bottle. Number one, you want a nice large opening. You do not want a water bottle with an extremely small opening. This makes it very hard to hit, and you're just going to make a mess with a small bottle like this. So make sure that whatever you have has a very large opening. Another important consideration is to make sure that your pee bottle is very, very different from your water bottle. Don't make them the same container. You just have one container as a pee bottle and another container as a water bottle. Make sure they are different. Make sure they are different sizes. Make sure they are different shapes. Make sure they're different colors. Make sure they're different materials. And I always keep my pee bottle outside the tent and my water bottle inside the tent for reasons we'll get to later. But make sure that they are different in every conceivable possible way. The last thing you want to do is in the middle of the night you wake up, you either take a drink out of your pee bottle or you pee in your water bottle, both of which are rather disgusting options. So make sure that they are as different as possible so you don't get them mixed up. Now, I use a rigid bottle like this when I am truck camping. However, when I'm tent camping like this and backpacking, I don't want this volume in my backpack. So I do something a little bit different, and this is going to gross some of you people out, is I recycle freeze-dried meal pouches. These are great pee bottles. They're very small, they're lightweight, they're compact, and they fit easily into a backpack. They don't take up any space, and yet they serve the purpose. Now, if you want to do something like this, there's one important thing you need to make sure of, that it seals the bag. It doesn't just close it, it seals it. And these generally do. But if you want to test them, it's very easy to do. Simply take some tap water, put it in there, and turn it upside down. And let it set for a while. In fact, I test these by simply turning them over in my kitchen sink when it's dried out, and then a couple hours later I make sure that there isn't any water in the sink. That's how I proof those. Just because it has the closure doesn't mean it seals. Here is an M&M container, and it has the zip close, but look what happens when you tip it over. You don't want that to happen with your pee bottle, because if you tip it over, then you've got pee wherever it happens to be. This is part of the reason I leave my pee bottle outside. Even if I know it closes, even though I know either one of these is secure if it's knocked over, I may not, in my grogginess in the middle of the night, get this completely sealed. So if it gets knocked over, it's knocked over and it's leaking outside, not inside my tent. So make sure that it seals it, not just closes. Now, if you're thinking about adopting my method of using one of these as a pee bottle, understand that all I do is I just simply clean it out with soapy bleach water, rinse it out, and then let it set overnight and dry it out. Then it's perfectly fine inside. But if you're going to do this, a couple things you want to make sure of. Whatever container you have, make sure it has a gusseted bottom, for the reason I will show you. When you use this as a pee bottle, before you use it the first time, like you're setting up camp, you take it out of your backpack, and you want to open that gusseted end. It has to have this gusseted end, otherwise it won't do this, and that is, it won't stand up all by itself. This is the condition that I leave it in when I set up camp, so it's ready to go. I simply use it, and then I zip it closed, set it outside my tent. If I need to use it again, I bring it inside the tent, open it up, use it, and then seal it back up and set it back outside. This way I can stand it up, and I don't have any spill issues, even if it is sealed and tips over. I won't have a spill issue, and I won't have a wet spot out there in the dirt. Plus, it keeps the smell and the odor from coming into the tent. So that's one thing you have to look for. But you have to realize that as big of an opening as this is a much larger opening, easier to hit. You got to remember, you're going to wake up, you're going to be groggy, and trying to hit a small opening like this is going to be a mess. So the bigger the opening you can get in whatever container you're going to use is a far, far better option. The bigger, the better. Now, it doesn't matter whether you use a commercially available bottle like this, you recycle a bottle like this, or you recycle a container like this. No matter what, you want to dispose of the contents responsibly. That means you take this away from your campsite, you dig a latrine, you pour the contents in, and if you want to reuse this again, you clean it out. Don't just use this bottle or this container, fill it up, and then when you break camp, just leave it for somebody else. I hate people that do stuff like that. They leave their garbage for the next person to take care of. And can you imagine how disgusting it would be if you were the one that came across a container like this full of somebody else's urine? So don't do that. Be responsible, take care of the contents, and if you were going to dispose of these after you use them, do so responsibly. Don't just throw the whole thing in the trash. Dispose of the contents the way it should be disposed of. Dig a latrine, dispose of it. If nothing else, rinse these out and put them in the trash. If you want to rinse them out again, understand you're backpacking, so water and bleach are going to be needed to make sure that they're clean and not surgical room clean, but they're at least clean enough that you can transport it. So understand that if you're going to use these again and again, water and bleach are going to need to be an issue. If you want to, you can stock up on several of these and use them through the trip. Use one every night. That's up to you. Something else you'll need to be aware of. It takes a little bit of practice sometimes to use one of these. Guys, I know what you're thinking. Gee, all you got to do is pee in the opening, right? Well, ladies may not be as simple as that. So the best thing I can do is suggest that you practice using a pee bottle. And understand that in a tent like this, I've only got like 48 inches here. So I'm not going to be able to stand up while I use my pee bottle. I'm going to have to be kneeling here in the tent. So I'm going to want to practice using this. And the best place to practice is in the shower. That way, if you have a little accident, if you miss, the shower water will simply rinse your mistake right down the drain. So practice not only using the pee bottle, but practice kneeling. And also, if you have to, even kneeling, your tent might be low enough that you have to hunch over. So practice using your pee bottle or whatever container you use, hunched over on your knees in the shower. And that way, you'll get a little bit more proficient at it. Not everybody can use a pee bottle. So don't think that this is going to be a cure-all from having to get out and exit the tent to go take care of business. But if you can use a pee bottle, it saves you a lot of time and effort and trouble when you're out there camping. It makes it a lot more enjoyable experience. And if this isn't a big enough target for you to hit, it's time to get out the big guns. That's right, 10 pounds of pancake flour. If you can't hit this, the pee bottle isn't meant for you. This is a 10-pound bag of pancake batter, and it's basically just an oversized version of this. It has the seal in it, and it does seal. And it has the gusseted bottom, so I can stand this up if need be. However, it's an extreme case that somebody would have to go to this. But if you want to use a pee bottle and you're having trouble with this, try to find, go to a restaurant and ask them if they have something like this that you can have. They'll probably just give it to you for free. That's where I got these. I've got 5 or 6 of these. Restaurant gave them to me because this is what they use. So anyway, that is the basics of the pee bottle. Hopefully you found this video enjoyable, if not informative. This is Backpack Hack coming at you with this trail tip. Be safe out there, and I'll see you out on the trail.